Welcome to the program. Today we're here with Ackley Olton, a very hard-working Vincentian filmmaker. Good morning, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to share a little bit about the filmmaking world in St. Vincent.
All right, I understand that one of your films made it all the way into the international arena. Could you tell us about the film festival and a bit about your film?
Yeah, so the film is called Black Dog. It's a short film about 4 minutes and 10 seconds long, and it focuses on race, identity, and concepts of beauty in a Caribbean space, I guess coming out of colonialism. And it's really about our, I don't know what it is, but something that makes us think that it's fine to buy blonde, blue-eyed dolls for our young girls. In my opinion, or how I see it, it's sort of like brings back that old St. Vincent when people used to say, oh, you have to get a little bit of color to bring up your family, or and there are like psychological studies that were done, the Bobo doll test, where people they would have 2 dolls and young children, under 3 to 5, and they would present both dolls, and they would ask questions and say, which doll is the pretty doll? And they would do the white one. Which doll is the nice doll? They would do the white one. Which doll is the ugly doll? And they would say the black one. And then, there was one question when she said to a black child, which doll looks like you? And you could see like the shock and the frustration in the child as the child kind of like realized, I'm calling myself ugly, So that's the space, anti-colonialist, right? Fighting that, that idea of continuing emancipation. That's the idea. And it had gone to a few festivals already. It had gone around the world a few times. But this festival that it went to is called the Locarno International Film Festival in Switzerland. And it's like one of the oldest, like it's before World War II. It's 75 years old. So, to like be able to like do my thing, if we want to say be a Vincian, say my small thing here in Vinci, and to be able to like bring images and sounds from St. Vincent to that platform feels like a big accomplishment. It feels it makes me feel like what I am doing is valuable, and I don't want to like toot my horn or whatever, but it makes me feel like there are certain things in St. Vincent which doesn't necessarily happen or doesn't necessarily fit into like mainstream careers. And every time I make one of these little triumphs, I feel like it is possible, not just for me, but for all of we. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand that at this film festival there was an opportunity created to, improve yourself as a filmmaker and to open up other opportunities for other Vincentians. Could you tell us a bit about it?
So, to go to the festival, I teamed up with Iko Rudet, who runs the High Runa Film Festival, which is St. Vincent's very own film festival. It's been going on for 3 years now. It started in 2019 and went all around the island, showing films in the different communities and, sort of like introducing St. Vincent to independent cinema. And so we teamed up to go to this event. We had to raise some funds, got some support from our community, which we're extremely grateful for, and also from Soho House in the Grenadines. They supported us as well. Like I said, this thing is new, so when it comes to dealing with St. Vincent or dealing with, I guess, the organizers of St. Vincent's culture, filmmaking is not one of those things that people understand or people know how to, I guess they don't know, they understand it, but they don't know how to monetize it from the local standpoint. So it was a challenge to get support from the government, but we still managed to make it. And the festival itself supported us as well. And because we went as a team, as a Vincentian team, we were like really impacting in terms of like, 2 people on the scene from this small island. And what Aiko does is completely different from what I do. She comes with all of the films from the Caribbean and all of the films from St. Vincent, all of the attempts. And, like I'm one person who's within that bunch. So it gave us the opportunity to not just showcase my work, but to showcase the work of other Vincentians, like Javed D'Souza, other Vincentians who, who have been trying to develop this thing as well. And it also gave us opportunity to develop ourselves. I have been, I guess, like going into different aspects of this because we don't do it and I have to be a jack of all trades. But the more important part of this right now for me is understanding distribution, which is after you make the film, where to send it, who to send it to, so that it could be seen by particular people who may help a television network to buy it, This same film that I sent, that has happened one time so far. So, like they put it on TV in the French Caribbean islands. So I'm trying to find out like how to be a part of that space and how to open that and how to bring it home in order, for us to like be able to like make these videos or film or whatever we want to call them and find channels to send them out and to send them to places like SVG TV, but places that pay you for your content, to put it online, to put it on there, to broadcast it to their audience, That's how it's supposed to work. Like there's a lot of things that we do on the island here which is not the standard, and it's not how it's supposed to go in terms of people's intellectual property. I was saying this to Javid one time that, here they could tell you, oh yeah, bring your thing and get an opportunity, and people see it, and while that is great, the value that he puts in to make his film, or that I put in terms of getting the tech, the skills, all of that, that comes at the price. And when you just put it on TV for free, you're not doing me a favor. I'm doing you a favor. And it's really like how to get that, is like to invert the thinking, to get our people to see that, these gatekeepers are not necessarily, they're not necessarily like who we think they are, because they're keeping us small.
All right. In terms of, other Vincentians and other aspiring filmmakers, what advice can you give them, in terms of, putting together the films? Because a lot of people will be now starting, they don't know how to put a film together, but they have this burning passion within them. I want to make films. I want to have things recorded. What advice can you give to them?
Well, you start with a page, one page of text writing. They break it down into two parts, a log line, which is like a one sentence that sort of like describes your idea. And then the other thing is the synopsis, which is like a short version of your story. I guess it's like, you're familiar with this, like writing a book or writing a composition. It's just to get your idea out there on a page. And then you have to be able to pitch it. So you meet somebody, even if it's a camera person, and you say, oh yeah, I want to do this, I have this idea. You have to know how to explain it to hook that person. And then depending on where you are in terms of like financing, maybe you could collaborate with that person. Maybe you could say, well, I don't have the cash, but we could work as a team and we could make this thing. And then when we get a distribution deal, it could be shared. Like whatever we earn could be shared, based on how we collaborate, like how they do in music. So I would say like that's the way to like be able to communicate your idea and then find people who you think have the skills and collaborate with them. So so I was saying just to encourage people that there is like a door opening, or if you want to imagine an imaginary door that kind of open, and there is a space out there in the world for what could be considered Vincentian film or Caribbean film. And if you have ideas and if you think they're worth it, you should pursue it, and you should try to like, see how much you could muster and how much you could collaborate with other people, because there's a space there for it. And like music, like art, like mass, like the other things that are like manifestations of our identity, like all of those things have value, and we as a people need to figure out how to use them to enrich ourselves, not just financially, but this space as well that is our home. I mean, when I go to any of these places, like, for us it used to be like, oh yeah, you're going foreign and you get whatever, but there is a kind of comfort and a kind of peace in St. Vincent that you can't find in any other place. And I want those people to come here and hire us, to make films for them, and stay in our hotels and eat our restaurants, you know? Like that's what I want. So we need to make the place nice.